Erica cost local music industry thousands in royalties. Stardom Tent's grand opening caded for Saturday, and a call for tougher laws against sexual abuse. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up. First up, an estimated $60,000 loss in royalties. That's the impact Tropical Storm Erica had on Dominica's music industry. Andrea Louis has that story.
Chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Collective Organization for Music Rights, ECHO, McCarthy Marie, says the tropical storm affected several events, which in turn caused a drop in revenue in the country's music business.
Dominica was, of course, the place where we made less revenue because the biggest event in Dominica, the World Creole Music Festival, had to be cancelled on account of Erica. So the royalties had been due for that were not. Well, there are no royalties for it because it didn't take place. So we made a considerably smaller revenue, 2015 in Dominica than we did in 2014. Because that happened, and a good many events got cancelled as well, like the Creole in the Park from Cable and Wireless, and some private events got cancelled.
ECHO collects royalties from broadcast media and event organizers on behalf of its music writers and composers. Marie says the decrease in the number of activities led to less royalties being collected in 2015.
I think it's somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000, not yeah, because some of those events, not sure if all of them would have taken place anyway, right?
So normally how much is collected or would be collected on an annual basis?
I would think somewhere in the region of 100,000, 110,000 or so, yeah. Which we hope to grow. From ECHO's point of view, I would like to see more persons who are using music come to us to get the license, and that we don't have too much need for litigation.
Currently, there are no outstanding lawsuits in Dominica regarding the collection of royalties. Marie believes the Eastern Caribbean countries are becoming more aware of the importance of having licenses to broadcast music.
Well, the year 2015 was shaping up to be a bit better than 2014 for ECHO. Well, we started getting some licenses in new territories like Grenada and St. Kitts. In St. Vincent, it's still very difficult. We have a couple of lawsuits outstanding. St. Lucia as well. In St. Kitts, we also have some lawsuits. For the time being, we have no lawsuits outstanding in Dominica because more people are cooperating with us and understanding how the system works. In point of fact, people actually calling me to say, I am going to have such an event, I would need a license, can you send me the documents?
Copyright legislation currently exists within the ECHO-administered territories of Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the British Virgin Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Now on to Carnival. Carnival organizers who are calling on bouillon artists to take the music seriously if the first ever Bouillon Monarch is to be a success. Here's Lurian Graham Carter with that story.
The Bouillon Monarch competition is the premier bouillon event during Dominica Carnival. Solo bouillon artists will compete for the Bouillon Monarch crown. The winner will also win up to $21,000 in cash and prizes. Logistics coordinator of the competition says the event is open to as many as 15 artists.
The main focus of the show is to grow the bouillon music. Some of you may have traveled maybe to other Caribbean islands. You may have been subject to, you may be in a Caribbean party or whatever, and you know the DJ may quote unquote big up Dominicans, and when you hear the music that is playing is something that has been somewhat 20 years old. So it speaks to the fact that the music that we are making currently has not penetrated or has not exported from the country.
Andre says they hope the show will bring more structure to bouillon and make it more export ready. Meanwhile, Carnival promoter and Calypsonian Val Coffey says he hopes the competition will help the music to improve.
Before bouillon music steps out, we as artists and musicians, we have to step up our game as well in terms of making sure that we can have a viable product. As we have noticed that the Trinidadians, the Grenadians are all out there, all around the world, and they are actually taking our rhythm and our patterns and making big names for themselves. So I'm hoping that this young group that's come together will be able to have a bigger picture, and they will have the support, I know, of the Discover Dominica Authority and the DFC.
Coffee says Bouyon artists in Dominica need to form an association where members can be registered and have proper album covers. The Bouyon Monarch competition will be held on January 29.
And the organizers of the Stardom Calypso tent promise entertainment with a difference for the Real Mass 2016. The grand opening of Stardom tent will be held on Saturday. On Wednesday, representative of the Stardom tent Leroy Wadiko Charles announced that the first tent would be held at the Cicero Hotel.
DBS former road match. We also have a trendsetter coming over. We have young Janet, a former junior monarch. Over 30 Calypsonians, and the Calypso will be a bread basket of Calypsos from both sides of the fence. We pride in bringing a balanced diet to the multitudes every edition.
Charles says after the opening of the tent, or rather the tent will continue every Wednesday at the same location.
The most female Calypsonians, a bridge, a marriage between royalty, veteranship, and youth. Bacchanal, up-tempo, and powerful social commentary. It's only at Stardom. That's why we pride and we believe the drum start of Carnival will be this coming Saturday.
In addition to the Calypso show, for the first time this carnival, the committee has welcomed the Bouyon Monarch and the Pan in the Sand shows. In other news now, the Minister for Justice has announced the establishment of a committee to place greater attention on sexual offences in the country. Chairman of the committee, Ray Harris, says there have been improvements in the law with regard to sexual offences, but more needs to be done. The committee comprised the Director of Public Prosecution, the Chief Parliamentary Counsel, State Attorney, and Inspector of Police, Antonio Moses.
And we have been working assiduously over the last month and a half. I expect to get that report into the minister by the second week of January. And for sure, although we will make other recommendations, we are also certainly going to have a draft amendment, sexual offences amendment bill.
The committee chairman says they have heard from stakeholders at the National Youth Council level, NGO Coalition, the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Ministry of Health, Welfare, and the Dominica Christian Council.
Rape has been enhanced. We're going to enhance that area particularly. There's going to be a possibility of compensation. We've also enhanced gross indecency. We have dealt with concepts like sexual grooming of a minor who is under 16 years of age. We've dealt with voyeurism. We've dealt with mandatory reporting of suspected abuse minors. In other words, medical practitioners, people in authority who may see and realize and observe that certain clear offenses have been committed. There's going to be an obligation on those people. They have a responsibility. We also deal with obstruction of prosecution. Important. We're also dealing with admissibility of minor statements, because sometimes minors are afraid to come forward, and we'll detail that, because we have to have the checks and balances. We want to deal with the complainants, but we also have to deal with the accused fairly. Remember, you're not guilty until proven guilty. And then we also have dealt with things like sentencing as well. I know there's a whole question of separation of powers, the whole question of mandatory minimums, but you better believe we're going to deal with that as well. We also have dealt with the whole question of notification requirements when people have been convicted of sexual offenses. We're dealing with that as well.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, wishes for the new year, sports, and your weather. Thank you for staying with us. Legal advisor to the Ministry of Justice says the ministry is focusing on gathering information for the revision of the country's laws. The recently established Law Commission Office has been tasked with the responsibility of revising the laws of Dominica. The last general revision was done 25 years ago.
The whole idea of a revision is to consolidate all your laws so that when we come out with a new edition, all the laws, no matter what law you pick up, will bring it up to that date. So it's an editorial process. All those amendments that have been passed, you have to meticulously incorporate each one of them. And therefore, it's a fairly slow process. The last revision in Dominic took 5 years, others in other countries 4, some 6. We hope to do it within 2 to 3 years.
The legal advisor says the law must be accessible and understandable to all.
Sometimes when there are many amendments, if a law has been amended 20 times, what the law is today is sometimes confusing even to judges on the bench, much less the Joe Tom citizen. And therefore, it assists the rule of law. It also assists the whole question of not only judges and lawyers, but everybody, no matter if it's hucksters, people involved in business, they should know the law and have access to it. Not only that, it also helps investigations. It also helps people who come to invest, because if you're going to invest in a country, you want access easily to the law.
Harris spoke at a press briefing held by the Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security. And the Dominican community is being urged to come on board in providing safe homes for teenagers at risk. Andrea Louis has more.
The call was made by Managing Director of Chances in Jimmet, Ava Roach. Chances provides a safe, stable environment for children aged 0 to 18 who come from troubled households. Roach says one of the challenges faced by the institution in 2015 was that of securing homes for the teenagers.
We have had several children coming in need of care and protection, and one of the successful parts is that we have been able to place quite a few of the children in homes. When I say in homes, either back with their biological parents or some of them going into foster care. This is one of the aims of Chances, that children do not remain permanently at Chances. One of the areas, though, I would like to see improve is that it's not very easy to get homes for teenagers. You know, that has been one of the areas we have had problems with, where it has not been very easy to get homes for teenagers.
Roach says there are several ways through which a disadvantaged child can arrive at Chances. However, she hopes to see more of the community come on board in taking care of the nation's children.
We work directly with Social Welfare Department, which is government's agency for children and families. So all children who are placed here come from the Social Welfare Department through a court order. Also the police can bring in a child, you know, but we also always do have to get in touch with Social Welfare Department. So any child who have been abused, neglected, abandoned, who is in need, their need of care and protection will come into Chances that way. We want the community to open to help in, you know, taking care of the children. After all, the children of Dominica belong to all of us, eh? It belongs to all of us, and the more we take care of our children, it will lessen in so many difficult situations around.
17 children are currently living at Chances. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Well, most people have some New Year's resolution that they make around this time of year. Bishop Balze has his own wish for the faithful, and he shared it with Channel 5 News during the week.
Of course, 2016, I hope, will be a time of grace. In fact, today or this year, we introduce from the Holy Father the year of mercy, and we'll be reflecting on this a great deal, because essentially Christmas is a reflection of that, the mercy of God towards humanity.
Meantime, Pastor Randy Rodney says he would like to see Dominica refocus on what's right in 2016.
We tread upon what is wrong. We ensure that we lift up the light on what is good, and we curse the darkness. We ensure that the darkness is where it belongs. In all stratas, from the leadership to the man on the street, we need to re-energize ourselves in terms of how we need to lift our nation, because the Bible says that if righteousness don't exalt the nation, nothing else would. And I'm paraphrasing that for us to understand that that is the only thing that will lift us from where we were, where we are, and lift us to a place where we should be, where our economies will do better.
Welcome now to our Chit Chat segment. I have a very special guest with me today, Kamisha Richards. She's the Sales and Marketing Manager at Fort Young Hotel. There's something fantastic happening there at the end of this year, the beginning of the new year, ringing in the new year. What is it, Kamisha, we're doing? What's happening at Fort Young?
Well, Julian, we have various events taking place at the Fort Young to celebrate the new year. We are going to start with New Year's Eve. That's tomorrow. From 7 o'clock to 10, we have a fabulous four-course dinner at our Palaces restaurant. And the Palaces restaurant is on the waterfront area, on the bayfront area. So that's a very wonderful, nice, classy event for persons that just want to come and sit and end the year right. We also have, after that, our Free Steps into 2016. It's an event where we celebrate the new year in 3 cities. So right at the Fort Young, you're going to experience the new year in Paris style. You're going to experience the New Year in Roseau, Dominica style, and then we're going to end the New Year in Manhattan, New York style. So that's an amazing event. It's all inclusive, and it's $200 per person. Tickets and reservations can be made at the Fortune Hotel through our front desk. It's an all-inclusive event. It's a very nice and special event if you just want to relax with your friends and ring in the New Year the right way. And then we also have a New Year's brunch. It's called a Bubbles and Brunch. It's a champagne brunch. That's on the 1st of January. Again, it's at our Palaces restaurant. It's from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. And persons who participate in the brunch can get to use our pool for the day for free. So all of this is fabulous stuff that's happening at the Fortune Hotel. It's a very entertaining 2 days, New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. It's all inclusive, live entertainment, lots of food, good food, great people to mix and mingle with, and it's all happening at the Fortune Hotel right in the capital, Roseau.
What happens, Commissioner? How do people sign up? What happens? How do they make
You can call us for more information, 448-5000. You can also email us, info@fortunehotel.com, or you can just drop by. It's right in town. Just drop by at the front desk and let us know what you're interested in, and we'll make the right recommendation for you. If you would like to start your new year very nice and simple, just eat and relax, we cater to that. If you like something a little more festive, we also cater to that with our free steps into 2016. And finally, on New Year's Day, there is no need to hustle and make any breakfast, any lunch. Just come to us and we'll have bubbles and brunch on New Year's Day.
All taken care of for you
all
by
taken
Fortune.
care of, yes.
And you recommend people do all three steps?
All three steps. All three steps.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Richards, the Sales and Marketing Manager at Fortune Hotel. Thank you very much. Sports is coming up next.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. First up in sports, the West Indies Cricket Board has outlined a number of proposals to improve its governance. WICB recently rejected a demand by a CARICOM review panel to dissolve its current board. This decision followed a recent review of the report and recommendations of the review panel appointed by CARICOM and the implications for a way forward for the WICB. The board's position paper says in order for cricket governance to improve, the board of directors will take immediate steps to improve communications throughout various media, initiate discussions with stakeholders on the development of cricket in territories, especially at the school level, review the present situation with women's cricket in West Indies, and design a framework for the further growth of the game. Immediately review the present situation and circumstances surrounding and concerning the performance of the players of the West Indies team, and review the implementation of the PCL, CPL, and Nagico Super 50 tournaments at the end of the current cricket year. The idea is to create greater operational and financial synergies while adopting best practices for raising the standards of the on-field performance. This review was done with the help of Senior Counsel Tony Astafan on December 12, 2015. Moving on to Test cricket. The final day of the Test match between England and South Africa piled on more embarrassment for the home team when they lost to the visitors by 241 runs. After ending day 4 on 136 for 4, requiring another 208 runs with 6 wickets in hand, South Africa scraped up 38 more runs to be all out for 174. Stephen Finn picked up 4 for 42 and Moeen Ali 3 for 37 in favor of England. The scores at the end of the first test: England 303 and 326, South Africa 214 and 174 in 71 overs. The teams will meet up again for the second test from January 2 to 6. Moving now to Sydney. The West Indies and Australia will go head-to-head from the 3rd to 7th of January for their third test match. The Windies, having lost their first and second test against Australia, will be hoping to avoid a whitewash. In football, the Dominica Football Association has taken action against 2 football clubs for behavior contrary to the sport. Gerald George has details.
The Dominica Football Association has taken disciplinary action against 2 clubs in the Division 1 League. Collier Football Club has been suspended from participating in any activities under the auspices of the Dominica Football Association, pending the outcome of a hearing by the disciplinary committee for walking off the field of play in the match against MV Maxano Bombers, while Exodus Young Boys have been stripped of their match points against Tarin and St. Joseph for using an ineligible player in that match. As a result, the match points have been awarded to St. Joseph.
Still in football, election of the new FIFA president is not too far away, and President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, says the regional heads of football will be meeting soon to discuss matters relating to the upcoming elections.
The Windward Island president is very vigorous in not making decisions collectively, but we discuss these things, and we have a set meeting in St. Vincent in early January.
FIFA has been the talk of several media houses recently for alleged widespread corruption. The most recent was the 8-year ban placed on President Sepp Blatter and UEFA President Michel Platini for all football-related activities based on an oral agreement made by the two between 1998 and 2002. And finally, President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Cedric Harris, says it was a good year for track and field and he's looking forward to better things in the coming year.
2015 in our programs, we can say we did fairly okay. I mean, there's always room for improvement. Well, 2016, our calendar, we have normal local events. Our first event for 2016 is hoping to be on the 10th of January in Marigot, Lio Park. That's our first developmental meet. We're going to go on the 24th to Portsmouth, again a developmental meet. And then we're going to move to, hopefully, to Roseau to have our junior championships at the Windsor Park Stadium on the 21st of February.
At an awards ceremony on Tuesday, the association recognized businesses and individuals who supported it in 2015.
Dominica Amateur Athletic Association, we did have an awards ceremony where we were actually giving back a token of appreciation to those people or businesses that assisted us during the course of the year 2015 and even earlier.
The objective was to award 18 businesses and individuals for their contribution to the association.
The target was to give 18 or so awards to different individuals and businesses that actually contributed towards the athletic association and the development of the sport of athletics in Dominica.
That's all the time we have for sports. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
Your weather report is coming up next.
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. The Atlantic high pressure system continued to be the dominant feature across the region today, with the trade wind shower pattern continuing, with some low-level clouds seen on visible satellite imagery and radar imagery indicating only a few scattered showers across the area. For tonight, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with a few scattered showers, and similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water, with waves peaking near 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, you are advised to exercise some caution. For the next 3 days, the trade wind shower pattern will continue with occasional cloudy skies and scattered showers expected throughout. Similar conditions are expected tomorrow across the region, with occasional cloudy skies and scattered showers expected. For the international cities forecast, partly cloudy skies in New York, Miami and Caracas, some rain in London and clear skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:42 a.m. and set at 5:46 p.m. For additional information, feel free to contact us at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines: Erica cost local music industry thousands in royalties, Stardom 10th grand opening carded for Saturday, and a call for tougher laws against sexual abuse. Feel free to email us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. Remember to join us for the news and sports in review at 8 p.m. on Thursday. On behalf of the Mapping 2K4 family, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for your support in 2015. Have a blessed 2016.